Today, we're going to talk about this little guy who is looking to build his business, and he's got a lot of experience. He's maybe had like 20 plus years either working in corporate or being a service provider as a freelancer, working in his own space. And he's coming along, and we're just going to pop him down here. And the thing is he doesn't really understand what his spark is. Spark is the piece that really makes you shine. It's the piece that motivates you. It's the piece that you can't help but do what you do every single day. It motivates you to get out of bed and work. And when it comes to building, scaling, growing your own business, it's really important that we actually understand this spark, the very central element about what it is that really motivates you. So in my heart, I've basically got creativity running through my DNA. I am a maker, true and true, which means whether it be ideas or artwork, events, retreats, houses, theatres, costumes, I can't help but take ideas and bring them into reality because that is my spark. It's the thing that really drives me. And I love helping people in that place of transition. And it starts with finding your spark, knowing what your spark is. Because only then can we begin to build the rainbow of your business. So once we know the spark, we then want to work on the next arc. And this is thinking about what is your perspective? What do you actually stand for? So here we've started with an internal motivation, your spark, and now we're beginning to think about what's your broader values, your perspective on your industry that is going to make this little guy, say if he's thinking about it, what's his perspective in terms of what he's looking at in his industry? Because your perspective becomes one of these grounding pieces of your positioning. And only then, when we start looking at that, can we begin to look at some other aspects of your business. And the next piece is we want to start thinking about how can I bring people into my world? And I call these touch point offers because we need to have multiple touch points for people to understand who we are, what we can provide, and how we can get out there. So yes, social posts, that's one touch point, but people are still quite distant at that point. Coming in, listening to a video, you're coming a little closer in. That's another touch point. It is still free at this point, but you're beginning to understand a bit more of what I'm about and how I can help you. So we start looking at touch point offers. And touch point offers as well tend to be the lower price. They don't need to be free. They can be under the £30, $30, €30 price. And so books, like my book, The Introvert Way Roadmap, these come in at this low cost. It's an easy entry point, but it's also something that doesn't really take much of your time and it's fully scalable. So yes, recording a video takes time, creating content takes time, but once it's created, it can work in repetition. Now, along this scale, many people start to think at this next stage, and this is what I call the golden offer. It's an offer which is, again, extremely scalable. So if you've been thinking about courses, self-led DIY programs for your people to get what you do and really get a result fast, then that is the golden offer. The next stage on the journey of creating this scalable business is your signature offer. And this is the offer that I like to call the heart and soul of your business. The thing which you want to be referred for, that people come in and they've got a slightly closer connection with you in this space. And this is quite often a hybrid model that there might be a resource library, assets, training, which take people through the foundational steps and bring them into your world. But then you're likely to have things like live Q&A calls and feedback on work along the way. And this would be your signature offer. And lastly, on part of this journey, to create the rainbow that we want to have in your business, is to think about your star offers. This is your bespoke one-to-one services. Now, many people, when they're starting out, where they start, and it's quite normal, is we have this big gap, because they might be offering the bespoke, and coaches and consultants normally start here. And it's a brilliant place to start because you're working with clients one-to-one. But there's not much space in between, and not everyone in your audience wants to go straight into that bespoke offer. But absolutely, you need to know and understand what it is that drives you, your spark, and what your perspective is on life. And the next space that I always recommend, say, for people to pull in and think about, is actually to think about your signature offer, because that's the one that you want to grow. And from that will come your golden offer. And then from your golden offer, just got to be a bit careful here, becomes your touch point offers. Because what we actually need to do is make sure these are all connected. And if you've got disconnect between any of these offers, then that's when people get confused and they don't really know what it is that they're coming to you for. If you're enjoying this and you'd like a bit more detail, do click the bell, subscribe, and follow me for the next time, where I'll go into a bit more depth on each of these methods of building the rainbow in your business.